I just want to share some resources I found today on my trip to Dollarama for my daughter's homeschooling. Okay, so I found a Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. These were $5 each. I was actually about to order this on Amazon, so I'm really glad I found it. On the side of the box, it shows you what pieces are included. So for the Mrs. Potato Head, it's pretty basic. There's a little flower that goes on her arm. It comes with a little girly hat and a girly pair of eyes with eyeshadow. Mr. Potato Head, they had the original one, the basic one. I liked this one because it's got the guitar and a really cool pair of glasses. So this is like the rock star version of Mr. Potato, I guess. And so we're going to be using this right now. I'm going to use it to introduce his and her pronouns. So we already worked on he and she. She already knows he and she. She knows he is a boy and she is a girl. And now I want to work on his and her. So when we're building it, I'm going to put both in front of her with nothing on it. And then I'll say, for example, Layla, can you put her green hat on? And then she'll know that I said her hat, so she knows it's Mrs. Potato Head's hat because I said her and his is blue. Okay, or I'll say, can you put on his glasses? And then she'll take the glasses. And I know with some things it'll be obvious because she doesn't have glasses and he does, but the point is I just want to work on listening to his and her, and then she'll have to identify, okay, which one am I working on, right? So if I say her ears, it's Mrs. Potato's ears. If I say put on his eyes, it's Mr. Potato's eyes. Okay, so listening for his and her cues, and we're going to work on pronouns that way. Then eventually in the future, I have planned for her a 5 senses theme where we're going to be learning about the 5 senses, and then we'll use this for that as well, right? So I'll say to her, what does Mrs. Potato Head need to see? And then she'll put on the eyes. What does Mr. Potato Head need to hear? And then she'll put on his ears. Okay, so that's how we're going to use it for the 5 senses. Okay, so Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head, $5 a piece, and we're going to use it to work on the 5 senses and also on his and her pronouns. Then I found these building blocks. They're colorful and they're foam. So they're pretty soft. Hopefully they build well. It shows you on the back what you get. So there's numbers on some of the blocks, and there's also equation symbols. So there's multiplication, division, and addition. So you can use these as a fun way to work on math equations. I'm just going to use them right now for shapes. Now my daughter hasn't learned about 3D shapes yet. We've only done 2D, but eventually we are going to work on 3D shapes, so it'll be really good for that as well. But for now, we're just going to build using shapes. So, I'll tell her, oh, let's make a castle. Can you put a triangle on the top of our castle? And we'll just, and I might print a picture for her just online of like different images of shape building, and then we'll copy it. And then when we're done building that structure, we'll just count how much of each shape do we have, okay? So that's what I'm using these for right now, just to work on shapes, but you could also use it again to do math equations in a fun way. Then also for math, I found these number puzzles, and I got this one too. It's the same thing, but this one is fruit themed. So the fruit theme one is just going to tie in with our spring and summer themes because we eat a lot of fruit in spring and summer. So we'll talk about that. It'll be good for like word and picture matching and picture and word recognition. And then for the math one, we're going to work on reading the numbers up to 10. Right? So you've got the numbers, which my daughter already knows the numbers up to 10. You've got a picture with that quantity, and then you've got also the word, okay? And counting, again, is a goal we're working on, so she'll have to count the picture to find the right number, and then once she gets the number, and then she's got to find the right word that matches that number, okay? So we're going to use that for math as well. Then also for our spring theme, I just found this cute little wooden rainbow. We're just going to use this for a little like art and craft activity. On the back, it's got a switch. You can turn it on and it lights up. Oh, There. So it's got a little light, it lights up and it shines all the different colors of the rainbow. So I'm going to get my daughter to paint it, and then I'll put it in her room. And at nighttime when she goes to bed, before she falls asleep, I'll just turn it on for her. And my daughter loves rainbows. She's obsessed with rainbows. So I just know she'll love this. So I'm just going to get her to paint it. And because it's a rainbow, it kind of goes with our spring theme, because we'll be doing a lot of like rainbow stuff for spring. This was from my sister. My sister gave her this for Easter. It's a hatching egg. We're going to use this as a little science experiment for our spring theme as well. So it's got instructions on the back, and it looks like you're just hatching a little chick from the egg. Okay, so we'll follow the instructions. We'll do it as a little experiment. Okay, so that'll tie in nicely with our spring theme as well. And then I also bought a bunch of like flower seeds so we can do some planting. I found this really cute planter. It says flowers and garden on it, and it's her favorite color. So we'll do some planting as well for our spring theme, and then we'll put it outside on our deck. And every day she'll be responsible for watering it. We'll keep track of how it's growing, so we'll turn it into a whole science thing. And then I also found these little wooden butterflies. These are actually stickers. I'm just going to use it for math, for counting, to tie in spring or spring theme to math. And then these ones are actually more fall themed, I think. It's got a lot of like different leaves and acorns. So I'll probably hold on to these ones and use them in the fall. And we'll use these also for counting and maybe some patterning as well. I also found this game. It's a rolling egg game. So I do play games with my daughter in homeschool because it's just a great way to work on social skills. So taking turns, sharing, following the rules, listening to directions. It's also good for counting with math because you have to roll the dice, count, move X amount of spaces, stuff like that. So I do play a lot of games with her. It's just a really great way to engage and work on language and social skills. And it looks like the point of this game is just a race to the top, I guess, to get the egg. And so because it's eggs and birds, again, it ties in with our spring theme. So that's why I got it. But this is going to be great to just keep working on the social and language development. Okay. And then finally, books. So I've been really impressed lately with Dollarama's book section. Okay, so last time I went to Dollarama, I found these ones, and we used these for our animal theme. And these books were all featured in some of my previous videos when I posted my videos on everything I used for our animal theme. So there was this one. It's a touch and feel book, so it's textured on puppies and kittens. So we used this one when we talked about pets. And then there was these ones. It's Who's Playing on the Farm and Who's Playing in the Ocean. So farm theme and ocean themed. And so we used this last month when we talked about animals and habitats. So it asks a question: who leaps through the waves? Then you've got a little hint here, and then you open the flap and it's the answer. Okay, so we used these last month when we worked on our animals and habitats theme. And then this we haven't used yet, but I got it last time as well when I went to Dollarama. And this is working on emotions. So how do you feel, little bear, and how do you feel, little tiger? And eventually in the future, I do have it planned one of the months to work on emotions and identifying emotions. I think I'm actually going to do it the same month that I'm going to do the 5 senses with the Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. So we're going to talk about emotions. And so these books are really great because there's actually a little wheel here that you can turn and it spins. So see, it says turn the wheel and you see how I feel. And so you would read the page. So, hey there, tiger, are you mad? Tell me what made you so upset. Okay, so then you would read that page and then you would turn the wheel and you would find the mad eyes, whatever the mad eyes would be. Okay, and then you turn it, and then on this one, he's sick. Oh no, tiger, are you ill? Here, my friend, take this little pill. Okay, and again, you turn the wheel and you find the appropriate face for sick. Okay, so let's say that one. Okay, and you just do that for all the pages. Okay, and it's just a good way to show emotions. This one, same concept. It's got the wheel. But this one, I think I actually like a little bit better. It's a little bit different. So, oh no, bear, are you sad? Did you hurt your paw real bad? So again, you can turn the wheel just like the other one to find the proper expression for the face, okay, which is good for identifying emotion. But then this one is more specific as to why they feel that way, right? So here we know he's crying, so he must feel sad. But why? Why is he crying? Why is he sad? Because he hurt his paw, okay? And then this one, oh, how does he feel? He's scared. Why is he scared? He sees bats, it's nighttime, so it's dark out, the raccoon, the spider, there's a spider web, right? So all things that maybe he's scared of. And then it's just a good way to talk to your kids about, oh, do any of these things scare you? Are you scared of bats? Are you scared of spiders? Are you scared of bees? Okay, so it's just a great way to work on identifying emotions, but also why we would feel certain emotions. Okay, and so I do like this one a little bit better. I think it's a little bit more specific to work on why we feel certain emotions. This one is just strictly identifying what the emotion is and then finding the appropriate face, right? So, are you in love? Who is it that you're thinking of? And then you find the heart eyes. Okay, so that's just more identifying emotions. And then this one is identifying emotions and why we feel certain emotions. Okay, so we're going to use that when we talk about emotions and doing emotional intelligence. And then there's this one as well, which I really liked. And this is from a series. I am empowered. I am respectful. I am confident. I am caring. So these are all the different ones they have. This one that I got today is I am caring. Okay, and so on each page, you would read it. And this is a flap book. So they have flaps on each page. And so you read it. So when we have a group hug and hold each other tight, it makes us feel happy and warm and fuzzy inside. Then you would open and you learn that that's called affection. Okay. The next one, same thing, you'd read it. Sometimes we lend a hand and help each other out. That is called, you turn the flap, compassion. Okay, so when we help someone, like going up the stairs, that is showing compassion. This one, she's playing with her toys, sharing it with the baby. When we share with others, they feel like they belong. When we show kindness, we can never go wrong. So sharing is being kind. It's a form of kindness. So this is just a really great way to talk to kids about how to show kindness. So through sharing, how to show compassion, how to show affection by hugging, things like that. And so the goal of these books is just character development, right? How to demonstrate positive attributes, positive character traits, okay? So this is a really good one just to work on character development. Then I have this one, Search for Summer Lake, Dora the Explorer. My daughter loves Dora, so I think she'll really like it. Again, this is a very wordy book compared to other books that we're used to reading. I don't know if she'll sit through all of it, if I'll be able to read it to her word by word. If not, we're just going to focus on the pictures. We'll talk about who the characters are. Oh, where is Dora going? Where do you think she's going? And we'll talk about that. And then, when we get to a picture like this, for example, there's a lot going on here. We'll talk about, what do you see? I'll ask my daughter, what do you see? And she might say fish or turtles, and then we'll say, let's count. How many fish do you see? How many turtles are swimming? And we'll count, and we'll talk about the pictures and stuff like that. But it is Dora, and it's summer themed, so thought I could use it when we do our summer theme eventually. This one, Ready, Set, Race. I just thought this was a really fun one because the pictures are really colorful and vibrant. And this is very like Candyland theme. Like when I opened the book and I looked at the pictures, it reminded me of the game Candyland. But right off the bat, it introduces you who the characters are. There's two, Ed and Joe. And then they're just getting ready for a race. So we can talk about what did they build? What color is Ed's car? What color is Joe's car? What did they use to make their cars? So working on a lot of like the W questions. And then, so they're going on a race. So there's a lot of like very vivid and descriptive like language in this book. So there's a lot of words like engines roar, vroom, zoom, okay, magical race car ride, okay, and then it's got like racing off, swirly candy canes, whizzing over the big rainbow. Okay, so these just words like these just kind of make it a little bit more engaging and fun to read. It's just a lot more vivid imagery. The chocolate train goes choo choo. So I just thought this would be a really fun one to read with my daughter. And again, see how it's very like Candyland themed. So we'll talk about the pictures and what we see and the colors. And then when we get to certain words like fly, marshmallow clouds, they fly, beeping as they whiz on by. So when we get to certain words like that, I'll ask my daughter, are they going fast or are they going slow? And then I'll ask her, who do you think is going to win? Okay, so that's what we're going to use this book for, just for a lot of engagement, a lot of like back and forth interaction, asking her questions, okay? And we're just going to focus a lot on the pictures because the pictures are really nice and vibrant. And I just really thought this would be a fun one to get her engaged. And then the last one, Fairies and Friends ABC. So again, everything my daughter loves in this book, unicorns, fairies, and rainbows. She just loves it all. She's very girly like that. So this one, we're just going to go through the letters of the alphabet, and we're going to talk about the letters and work on letter recognition. So this is Ava. Ava's name starts with what letter? And then she'll say A. Ava is amazing. Amazing starts with A, just like Ava. Then on this page, letter B. This is Bella. Bella is a beautiful princess practicing ballet. And then I'll tell my daughter, look, Layla, Bella starts with B, beautiful, and ballet also start with B. And then I'll ask her for the sounds, like, what sound does B make? Okay, what sound does C make? What sound does E make? So we'll talk about what the letter is, the words on the pages that start with that letter, and what sound does each letter make. Okay, so that's what we're going to use this for in language, just to work on letter recognition and sounds. And then when I get to the letter of her name, which is L, then I'll ask her, what letter does your name start with, Layla? And she'll say L. So then we'll go to the L page, we'll read what the L page says, and we'll talk about the letter of her name and what sound it makes and things like that, okay? So that one is just going to be for ABC, and we'll talk about sounds and letter recognition. Okay, so that's it. So lots of books. Been really impressed with Dollarama's book section. You can get a lot of really great books for all levels on all kinds of different topics. I've been really happy with their book section. I always check it out now every time I go. And then, so Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head, again, it was $5 a piece. Blocks, which is always good for math. Games, again, it's great for social skills and communication and working on language development. And then just every season I like to go and look in their seasonal section and see what I can find to do in homeschool for like science, for experiments. Sometimes they have cute little things like this that you can use in math for counting and patterns and things like that. So that's everything I'm going to be using this month. Everything is from Dollarama. Just thought I'd share.